For the past couple of days, the Rocket League community has been in absolute turmoil over the new recent changes that have affected everyone's rank. As of the start of Season 11, many people's ranks have taken a very big hit, ranging from 100 MMR loss to 300 MMR loss. But the question is, why did this happen? Why exactly did Rocket League have to hit players with such a hard reset, and now of all times? Well, today, we're going to cover all of it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. So if you know what happened, congrats to you. You're an absolute OG. If you don't, stay tuned and keep watching, because this might have affected you too, and you might not notice. You might have not known what had happened yet. Players ranging from Diamond 1 till maybe SSL, I think it was, have taken a huge MMR hit in the latest season update of Rocket League. Now, why did this happen? Well, Rocket League has seen a huge inflation in ranks since the middle of Season 10, I think it was. I think it was Season 10. And because of this, there were many players in ranks that they shouldn't be in. On a typical season, Grand Champ usually contains between 2 to 3% of the player base. But as of the end of last season, Grand Champ had contributed to 5% of the player base. That's nearly 2% higher than normal. Now, how this happened and why this happened, no one knows. What we do know is that players that were playing like Champ 2s were ending up in Grand Champ somehow. And because of this, Rocket League had to make some changes and hit players, especially higher ranked players, with very hard resets this season. Now, in the periphery, this might look like a bad thing to many players, especially if it's their first season hitting Grand Champ or hitting Champ. But on the inside, it's really a good thing, because for everyone saying you've lost so much progress after this reset, well, if you were truly that rank, it shouldn't be too hard to get back up there, I'm assuming. Or I know, because I've gotten back up there myself. Now, the good part about this is that ranks are going to restabilize themselves. You know, you aren't going to have a player playing like a Champ 1 lying in Grand Champ 1 and then ending up being the slowest man in the lobby, you know? So we aren't going to see other ranks take over higher ranks and completely inflate all the ranks, you know? I was on Twitter the other day and I saw this little, I think it was a post, I forget who was by who, and I remember what it said. It was like, if the goalposts were wider and you scored a goal, would you feel better about it? So like, if we had widened the goalposts in Rocket League and you had scored a goal, does that make you feel better about scoring a goal than if it was smaller and you scored a goal? It doesn't. Why? Because it's much easier now. It becomes much easier. It's the same thing with ranks nowadays. If so many people are able to hit Grand Champ and get the Grand Champ rewards, then getting the Grand Champ rewards won't feel like an accomplishment. You won't feel as excited about getting the rewards, if that makes sense. Ranks such as Grand Champ and Supersonic Legend shouldn't be ranks so easily accessible to so many players of the community. They should be ranks that are hard earned and for the top 2 to 3% of the players at most. And that's exactly what Rocket League is trying to do. They're trying to keep the competition up in those ranks instead of having players from lower ranks getting up there and then getting stuck. I know a lot of players that were Grand Champ 1 this season and they literally could not move out of that rank. But when you play with them, it's just a whole nother world. It feels like they can't keep up with the speed of the game that you're in. Now, this video isn't me completely ripping on every single player that has gotten the rewards this season, especially Grand Champ and above, because props to you. Just even getting to Grand Champ in an inflated era is extremely hard. That is an outstanding accomplishment and good for you. However, at the same time, last season might have been a little bit easier just to get up to that rank. And the truth is that many players that went from like a Champ 2 to like a Grand Champ 1, they didn't get any better than they actually were. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but that's just the truth. That's the reality of the situation we were in. And it isn't their fault. It's just, as ranks inflated in Rocket League, it just became easier to rank up, and players felt like they were playing in ranks they should when they shouldn't be. And here's the thing, this affected mostly players who play the game more casually rather than higher ranked players, if that makes sense. Most high ranked players were happy with this reset, but because casual players make up majority of the player base in this game, Rocket League did end up reverting the change. They did end up slightly reinflating, not completely, but slightly reinflating the ranks, which in all honesty, I think was a completely horrible idea, because it makes the achievement of earning a higher rank feel less like an achievement. If I remember correctly, I think Psyonix gave back around a third to half the MMR they had taken away. So if you had lost 300 MMR and you had gotten it back around 150, you had only lost half your MMR, which is typical for a standard reset. Now, usually towards the end of the seasons in Rocket League, ranks are usually slightly inflated and slightly messed up anyways. But now, since they've decided to reinflate the ranks a little bit, now ranks are really messed up. You won't be playing Grand Champ 1 won't feel like a real Grand Champ 1 lab anymore. It's just ranks won't feel the same anymore. It'll only get progressively easier to climb up the ranks, and then you'll probably end up getting hard stuck at maybe Grand Champ or maybe Champ 3 for a very long time until you're able to keep up with players that are miles better than you. But yeah, boys, there it is. That's exactly what happened and the changes that were made. Let me know what you guys think of these changes. Do you guys think these changes were necessary? Do you guys think the decision to revert these changes was smart, dumb? What do you guys think? Give me your opinions on it in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.